Here's what the astrology is saying is in for 2026. Here's what the astrology is saying is out and on the chopping block for 2026. Let's get into it. 2026 is for the extroverts. 2026 is for the people that are ready to go out there and take action and do things and be seen doing those things. 2026 is for the bossy bitches, okay? Who are ready to take ownership and take matters into their own hands and give themselves the opportunities, right? Why is that? Because we have a lot of our outer planets shifting from earth and water to the fire and air elements, okay? Jupiter enters Leo late June, early July of this year. We have Neptune entering Aries later this month. February, we have Saturn entering Aries. Then April, we've got Uranus entering Gemini. Notice the trend here. So when we have the fire air focus, this is about reinvention. This is about rebranding. 2026 is not for people who are trying to keep doing the same damn thing, looking for different results. This is for the people that are willing to take risks. Okay, this year is for the people that are willing to put themselves out there and be seen trying unapologetically. If you are not trying in 2026, fortune will not be favoring you. Fortune is favoring the bold this year. Whatever you've been itching on, okay? Whatever makes you feel restless and you're like, I need to be doing that. Whatever is calling towards you, you need to go after it, even if it's completely illogical. Act first, think later in 2026. This is a year, especially from a creative standpoint, where a lot of people are going to be attracted to those who are also very well-rounded. This is a year, especially when we have Uranus entering Gemini. When I think of Gemini, I think of a metropolitan area, right? I think of the metropolitan area. I think of a city bustling with lots of different people with lots of different ideas and everyone going around. It's kind of like everyone's going in their own directions. Everyone's going on their own path, everyone's doing their own thing, and everyone has a place to go. Everyone has a destination, right? In 2026, it's about being very delusional about the destination, but being very realistic about the path getting there. And that means that you need to take action towards reaching that path. When we have the water earth focus that we've had for the past couple of years, it's about the vision boarding, it's about the manifestation, it's about, the spiritual discovery of all of it. This year, you've done the work, you've done the healing. You do not need to continue to make space for the most healed version of you. This year, especially with this Aries focus that we have with Saturn and Aries, it is cool to have scars. It is cool to have battle scars, right? It's going to be cool to be well-rounded and not necessarily be a master at all of those things, but to have an extensive skill set, right? To be a three-dimensional person. So for people who have maybe in the online spaces creatively, who have built their platforms on one topic, they're going to be pivoting. You're going to see a lot of people pivoting in 2026 because that is what fortune is favoring. If you are smart and you want to take advantage of this energy, you will be pivoting. And that's not just for the influencers, okay? This is also for everyone else, right? In your career, you're going to be feeling a restlessness or maybe a certain hesitation to pivot in your career. Maybe that means that you choose to be self-employed. Maybe that means that you choose to completely do something that has nothing to do with your degree. This could be a huge kind of exodus this year of maybe people leaving their 9-to-5s. This could also be a lot of people deciding to romanticize their 9-to-5s, right? There's going to be maybe a bit of a divide there. I think more ins for 2026 is going to be a lot of people choosing to spend more time offline and that being seen as cool, that being romanticized, right? To divest and decenter what's happening online. So that could be crossword puzzles becoming trendy, that could be Sudoku puzzles becoming trendy, any kind of grandma Y2K activity that does not require technology of any kind. This could also be people deciding to pour more of their investment and energy into physical media across the board. That could be magazines, that can be CDs, DVDs. You might see a lot of people doing and getting DVD players this year, right? People listening to music via CD or via an old iPod, right? A lot of people choosing to buy physical media. And in general, crafts are going to be a huge deal for 2026. And it's also going to be a really big deal this year for crafting online people across the board. You're going to be seeing a lot of people online kind of maybe potentially getting a lot of attention for their crafting abilities. I'm talking crochet. I'm talking the journaling girlies. Stationery is going to be a huge deal in 2026. We've already seen the rumblings from last year, but this year it's going to be a huge deal to have a beautiful journaling ecosystem. Okay, so this is going to be something that you might also feel pulled to, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. Journaling is also going to be a big deal. Again, anything that allows you to kind of like stay grounded in reality and get offline, because I think more and more this year we're going to be feeling how exhausting and draining it is to get caught up in the doom scrolls. The doom scrolling, it's going to be more and more draining and more exhausting. The bed rotting, all of the symptoms of being chronically online, people are going to be ready to take matters into their own hands and pour their energy into activities that not only are requiring you to kind of have more delayed gratification, like crocheting takes a long time, right? You're not going to immediately get it right, especially if you're learning to crochet. It's actually really difficult. Okay, knitting, things like that, right? It requires you to have delayed gratification. Hobbyists will be enjoying this year in general. And really also investing in activities that require you to spend more time in your local area. Your local area community is going to be a very big deal this year. Okay, a lot of people are going to be talking about voting for your local officials. This is going to be a big deal, okay? So third spaces community, people really feeling like passionate about what's happening in their immediate environment and community. Big deal for 2026. The people yearn for house parties. The people yearn for dinner parties, okay? People will be yearning to be a regular at their coffee shop, at their local coffee shop, being a regular at whatever your local small businesses are. All talk with strangers. These things are going to be really romanticized this year. You have Jupiter enter Leo this summer. Dyeing your hair blonde will be a big deal. No matter who you are, going blonde will be a big deal. I'm talking Targaryen blonde, but also maybe a coppery blonde, like a rosy blonde. Whatever it is, be prepared to get that box dye come summer 2026. I'm telling you, be prepared. That messy, fun makeup is making a comeback. Thank God. The clean girl is out. The clean girl is out going into 2026. The Sophia Richie quiet luxury thing is also out. The cosplay of quiet luxury in general is out for 2026. Okay? Maximalism is in. And by that, I do not mean from a consumerist perspective, because 2026 is also going to be about creating more than you are consuming. That's going to be a huge deal. A lot of people are really going to be getting into making sure they're wearing natural fibers. A lot of people are really going to be plastic. They're going to be really more, this is definitely a year of being more conscious and aware in general, because that is what the fire air elements do. That's what the air element especially is about. It's about kind of like raising your consciousness. So a lot of people are really going to be aware of the waste that they produce as well. But this year is going to be a big deal to be maximalist in the sense of really investing in your personal collections, whatever those are, whether it's trinkets, whatever. This is really going to be a year about developing your personal style and being anti-trend. However, I will say, if we're going to talk about the trends, I'm not a professional. This is just from an astrology perspective. So be quiet, calm down, don't get mad. But if we're going to talk about the trends, Victorian vibes are going to be, that is the trend for 2026. Victorian boho. I'm calling it now. Minimalism is going to be a big deal this year, especially when we get to the second half of 2026 with Jupiter and Leo. And I'm talking statement pieces, statement jewelry. It's going to be a big year for the eclectic girlies. It's going to be a big year for people who like to flex their vintage collections. Okay, that is the vibe. Calling it now. 2026 is the year for the cringy millennials. Cringy millennials, we are so back. This is your year to dominate. Okay, this is your year to be as insufferable as possible. It's also the year where it's going to be cool to have media literacy and be able to think critically. And people are going to be rejecting wealth maxing influencers, luxury hauls, anything like that. People are going to be choosing relatability and authenticity over all else.